Hi, my name is Jess Malandro, and I am the Assistant Director at the Big Idea Center, part of the University of Pittsburgh's Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I'm here to talk about a topic that I find extremely near and dear to the work that we do at the Big Idea Center and why I think it is so important to students today. Many people often think of innovation and entrepreneurship, or I&D programs, and skill building as inherently tied to STEM concepts, but we believe not only that everyone can be an innovator, no matter what your age or what you are studying, but that I&E skills and concepts are extremely beneficial to all students who are trying to enter the workforce in today's complicated job market. So let's get started. First, let's enter the haunted house. Ooh, it's very spooky and scary in there. But instead of ghosts, oh my gosh, it's AI trying to take jobs from university graduates. I know it's extremely scary. The world out there is extremely scary right now, but there is hope. We, as higher education practitioners, have a tremendous opportunity and responsibility to prepare our students to enter the workforce that exists today, not 10 years ago or whenever we went to college. We must innovate alongside of our students and bring them content and programming that is applicable to their unique experience. So, how do we go about doing that? To orient this conversation, I do want to use the Big Idea Center at Pitt, where I work, as a sort of case study in bringing innovation and entrepreneurship programming to students within a large research university. One of our biggest advantages at the Big Idea Center is that we are not affiliated with any specific academic department. We are housed within the Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which is part of Pitt Research. This means we have our own funding that we can use to serve students from any course of study and any student level. We have students in our programs ranging from the arts and humanities to medicine to business to pharmacy. And in 2022 to 2023, we had at least one student from every school at Pitt in one of our programs. It just goes to show that students from all areas benefit from innovation and entrepreneurship programming. They want these programs. Mostly, they want to be able to take their classroom education and apply it in real world settings. That is why we have shifted from a venture first focus in our programming to a student development approach. We believe that skill building in areas that are the foundation of I&D programming, like problem solving, empathy, and team building, is extremely important for all students, not just those who have and are actively working on an idea. Through programs such as our Changemaker Scholar program, that's a formal recognition programming allowing students to explore different facets of innovation and entrepreneurship, and Big Idea Blitz, which is a beginner's idea development workshop, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, we allow students to experiment, explore, and build a portfolio of demonstrated experience that they can take with them when they graduate. So, I know that is a good deal of information to digest, but why does this all matter? Why do we keep trudging through the difficult world of student programming in higher education? And to answer that question, first, I need your help. So I invite you to scan the QR code on your screen or type this link into your browser. There you will have the opportunity to answer the following question. What are the core skills employers identified to be of the greatest importance to the workforce in 2025? So I'll let you pause this video, go to that link, input your top three responses, and then join me back here. You can also check out the live view of responses by selecting review slides at the bottom of your screen after you've submitted your answers to see what others who are watching this session are saying. So I'll give you a moment to go do that. All right, so are you ready for the big reveal? This is a graphic from the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report for 2025. They surveyed over 1,000 leading global employers, representing 14 million workers across 22 industries. The goal was to examine trends in marketable skills and hiring in today's job market. You can see the top 10 on your screen, but I want you to focus on the top three. We have analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility, and leadership slash social influence. Creative thinking is also up there, if you'll notice that. So I want you to think about what you put down in our last activity and revisit the class answers on the slide at the review slides link and think about the following questions. How many of your skills matched what was in the top 10? Did any of them make the top 10? If there were any major differences in your valued skills and what was in the top 10, why do you think that is? I can't answer any of these questions for you, but it is interesting to think about. We are the ones generating programs, resources, content on behalf of the students who will be entering the job market. But what skill building values are you generating programs for? Is it time to innovate and adapt the same way we task our students to? So that's the little thought experiment here. And I am a problem and solution type person. And problem solving is at the very heart of innovation and entrepreneurship. So what is the problem we are faced with today? Traditional methods of learning are not enough to meet the needs of today's students. You can teach somebody how to take a test or perform an experiment in a controlled lab environment. They know how to read textbooks, but that is no longer enough to build up the skills in the core areas employers are looking for. How does a textbook teach you analytical thinking, right? There is a need for demonstrated experiences, real world application of classroom concepts, and basic skill building in human centered areas that AI just cannot touch. The question is then, how can higher education practitioners provide programming to students meant to stimulate growth in the core areas and make their students more competitive in the job market in an era where AI is changing industries for better or for worse, depending on how you look at it? I have sort of given away my solution by now, but it is innovation and entrepreneurship programming, at least in my opinion. Specifically, we can orient our programming to experience-based learning opportunities that hit the top most important skills for employers. I&D programming is grounded in problem solving, creativity, team building, leadership, among others. By working on an idea or connecting with an interdisciplinary community of innovative students who are working to create change in their own industries and interest areas, students actively engage with these key areas and learn how to apply their classroom knowledge and into their real world ideas or as part of internships or on other teams. Generally, the goal is to provide all students with access to I&E educational resources they may not get as part of their classroom education, opportunities to work on disciplinary teams, interactions with these core concepts and disciplines in a guided and supportive environment, and exposure to real world scenarios. This all helps them build a foundation of experience and knowledge before they put on that cap and gown and are sent off into the real world. But before we wrap up, I'd like to give you a tangible example of what basic innovation and entrepreneurship programming can look like in practice. One of the programs we have adapted over the last 3 years from a competitive environment to a developmental opportunity is Big Idea Blitz. Blitz is an opportunity for students to put concentrated time and work into their ideas, whether those ideas are back of the napkin or already have funding attached. It goes like this. Either a student has an idea to work on or you give them one. Throughout the course of the workshop, they follow a cycle by which they learn about a core concept at a very basic level, something like customer discovery. They work with other students on worksheets to apply the skills associated with that topic to their idea. Then they work with professional staff to refine their work. That cycle continues until they build up the knowledge and confidence for a basic pitch presentation, something that they can take with them for a future project or competition opportunity. Through this program, students learn how to apply basic innovation concepts to their ideas, connect with their peers from different areas of the university, network with industry professionals, and adapt a new or existing idea to something that has potential to grow. All of this while stretching their brain muscles and introducing them to different ways to generate change across communities and industries. That is all well and good, but why are we doing this again? In the work we do, I always challenge our students and my team to think about our why and how we can be better. If we are asking our students to innovate and problem solve and seek more impactful solutions, shouldn't we be doing that ourselves? We often build our programs around what has been working for students up to this point. It is easy to forget that times are rapidly changing. Students are changing. The job market is changing. I love this quote from Blass and Hayward. This was in reference to why social innovation programming should be at the forefront of the work we do at colleges and universities. That is, universities should strive to be advocates and drivers of change rather than just the critics or victims of change. Our current approaches to programming might be just fine, right? But what if we challenged ourselves to do better? Instead of sitting around talking about how hard it is to enter the job market in the face of the growth of AI, we should be preparing students to take on the aspect of jobs that AI just isn't equipped to handle. AI will never beat out the human element. Reorienting our programming to better prepare students to enter into this new landscape by using common innovation and entrepreneurship skills and concepts may just be the key. It is possible to start applying these concepts now and redefining student success in our own departments. Right now, we can change the way we talk about student success, focusing on skill building and experiential learning in these areas. Staying stagnant and doing what we have always done just because it works is not enough anymore. Innovation is the key, not just for our students, but in our departments as well. So I challenge you. In the module for this session, you will find a worksheet called Build a Better Bathtub. It is my hope that you will leave this session and complete that worksheet with the following in mind. Bathtubs have existed since 1700 BCE, about that, you know. They have changed and been re-envisioned so many times over the centuries to the designs that we see today, and it fulfills a basic need. It gets you clean. But I see this bathtub and I still see room for improvement. Anything we see or have could be improved, whether that be for accessibility reasons, aesthetic reasons, or otherwise. I challenge you to build a better bathtub and consider the ways that something that has worked fine for centuries could be made even better and have a greater impact on the industry of bathtubs. See, it all comes back around. And with that, I thank you for listening and hope that you will consider bringing innovation and entrepreneurship programs into your own institutions and departments. If you have any questions or just want to pick my brain, please feel free to reach out. There's also a host of awesome resources that I have put in the module for this session that I think might be helpful for you as you start brainstorming for your own departments.